So many people love Holly. I can't see anything. If you don't really even want a bang, see, suddenly that bang just sort of disappears. Like I mentioned earlier, they give off similar vibes. And one thing you will find that's slightly different, it's the same, but it's different, but we'll take a look at that when I put it on. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Chiquel YouTube channel. My name is Amanda, and today I'm going to show you how the popular Holly by Jon Renau compares to one of Belle Tress's new styles called Catalina, because they have similar vibes going on. But before I jump into it all, I'm going to remind you to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can learn even more about alternative hair. All right, so I'm currently wearing Holly by Jon Renau in the color 1426 S10, also known as Shaded Pralines and Cream. This is going to be a blend of a light golden blonde. We also have a sort of medium reddish golden blonde throughout here as well. And we are shaded at the root with a light warm brown color. So I'll do a really quick spin for you so you can see this color, see Holly. I do have a full review of Holly already. So I'm not gonna go full on into depth on Holly, but I'll talk a little bit about it and then, like I said, show you how it compares to Catalina. But let me spin. So as many of you may already know, Holly by Jon Renau is one of the most popular styles that I think I have ever seen. So many people love Holly. And the reason they love Holly is obviously because of this adorable style. It is at that perfect length. It's not gonna rub too much on your shoulders to get all that friction frizz on the bottoms. It's not gonna tangle too much because it's not too long. It has such a subtle and adorable wave pattern happening. And aside from that, this cap really has all the bells and whistles. You have that extended temple to temple lace front, so you can pull this off of your face if you so choose. You have that full monofilament top, so you can part this anywhere you want, which just allows for greater styling versatility. It gives you the opportunity to give yourself a bit of a side bang if you want. How cute that is. Or you can keep it parted in the center, but you can part it wherever you want. The bangs are at a great length because they're long enough to sort of give you that short curtain bang look if you want. They are long enough to even sort of incorporate into your style if you don't really even want a bang. See, suddenly that bang just sort of disappears. Or they are at that length where you can pull them forward, and then obviously they're very long, but you can cut them if you need. So you can have that straight across bang if that's your style. Now, Holly is made with heat-friendly synthetic fiber, which sometimes can be a pain to maintain. However, like I mentioned, this is at a pretty good length. So the maintenance on Holly isn't extreme, but you will over time find that the ends start to get a bit frizzy. It does start to get a bit clumpy, and you will eventually have to use heat on Holly to sort of bring her back to life again. But overall, the maintenance on Holly is fairly minimal. Now, Holly is made with a 100% hand-tied stretch cap. So that means all of the fibers on Holly are hand-tied into little clusters all over this cap here, giving the fibers the ability to move in any direction in a little bit more of a natural way, as opposed to if they were sewn into rows in wefting. So the hand-tied cap gives you that natural movement, plus hand-tied caps overall for most people, I won't say for everybody, but for most people, hand-tied caps are a little bit more comfortable. Of course, it depends who you are and what you're looking for in a cap, but I personally prefer the feel of hand-tied caps. Now, Jon Renau just recently came out with a petite version of Holly as well. So I'm wearing the average size of Holly right now, and you know what? As a petite size myself, I measure 20.5 inches in circumference, 11.5 inches front to nape, and 11.5 inches ear to ear. The average size of Holly is not huge on me. It does fit just a little bit smaller than average, not by much though. But that being said, there is still lots of stretch in Holly, so it's not like this is only meant for someone who's average to a little bit smaller than average. This will also fit someone who is a little bigger than average as well, because I still have plenty of room in my cap, and again, there is lots of stretch. However, like I said, Jon Renau has now come out with a petite version of Holly, which I have not personally put on my head and tried yet, but I can imagine, just based on other petite sizes by Jon Renau, I can imagine that it would fit me like a glove. Okay, let me take this off and quickly show you the inside of Holly, and then I'm gonna grab Catalina so we can compare it. So here's that full monofilament top. And then you have that extended temple to temple lace front here that goes into your felt ear tabs. Here's that hand-tied cap. We are stretchy in the center panel here. It's not stretchy up top or at the bottom, but nice and stretchy in that center panel. Then you have that extended felt nape with your Velcro adjusters so you can adjust your circumference. So that is the gist of Holly. And now I'm gonna walk you through the brand new Catalina by Belle Tress. And you know what? These styles I find, like I mentioned earlier, they give off similar vibes. They are a similar length. They have a similar curl pattern. Catalina, you're gonna find, has a little bit more of a curl, whereas Holly's is a bit more subtle. And then when I put them on, or when I put Catalina on, you're gonna notice that the bangs are a little bit shorter on Catalina and a little bit more structured, but we'll take a look at that when I put it on. So let's look at this. So Catalina is from Belle Tress's Luxe SE collection. All of the Luxe SE styles have the exact same cap. You're gonna find they have a full monofilament top and a lace front that extends all the way around your ear tabs. So you're gonna find the lace front on Catalina is a little bit more extensive than it was on Holly. And then our ear tabs here are silicone, whereas Holly just had those felt ear tabs. Now, this is a partially hand-tied stretch cap. So you're hand-tied in the top sections here, and then close wefted in the bottom half of your cap. So this just means all the fibers have been sewn by a machine into rows. So what that does is it often brings the price down a little bit. And also whenever there is wefting, it gives the opportunity for permatease to be put in. You will never find permatease on any hand-tied portion of a cap. So you won't find it on the monofilament. You won't find it in the hand-tied part up here, but sometimes, not always, but sometimes you'll find permatease within the closed wefting at the base and at the root of the fiber. And on Catalina, we are gonna find a little bit of permatease within that, which is gonna give it a little bit more volume and a little bit more structure. Aside from that, you have your extended felt nape and Velcro adjusters, just like Holly had. So let me give you a quick side-by-side comparison of the two here. Overall, they have similar features in the cap, but Holly is fully hand-tied, no wefting, so therefore you're not gonna have any permatease on Holly. This one is partially hand-tied with a closed wefting, where we will find some permatease within that closed wefting. And then of course, the ear tabs are silicone on Catalina and felt on Holly. And you're gonna have the lace front extend all the way around your ear tabs, whereas Holly is just extended and gradually gets smaller and smaller and sort of melts into your ear tab there. And one thing you will find that's slightly different, it's the same, but it's different.
What the heck is even that?
Even though they have full monofilament tops here, Catalina's has no seam, whereas Holly has a seam here to connect your monofilament top to your monofilament lace front here. So when you have Holly on your head, you can sort of see this little seam here through your lace at the top, whereas on Catalina, we don't have that at all. Okay, let me put on Catalina. So Catalina is also made with heat-friendly synthetic fiber. So you're gonna kind of find the same thing. It's at a really great length for maintenance over a long period of time, but eventually you will have to apply heat to the ends and to the nape to get any of the frizz and frazzlies out of the style. Okay, so as you can tell, this is a very similar length, like I said, to Holly. And the curl pattern on Catalina here is a little bit bigger barreled, a little bit more noticeable, whereas Holly is just a little bit more of a subtle wave pattern. Now, let me show you these bangs. So the bangs on Catalina are a little bit more evident just because of the fact that they are shorter and, like I said, more structured. So they have a little bit of a curl within the bang, and Holly doesn't quite have that as much. So right off the bat, you are able to bring these bangs forward without really having to cut them too much. I mean, obviously it depends on how big your forehead is. You might need to cut them, but overall for me, I wouldn't need to cut these bangs at all. They are in the perfect spot. So Catalina, like I mentioned, has no permatease up top because we have all of the hand-tied features in the top half of your cap and right on that monofilament top here, but you are gonna find some slight permatease within that closed wefting, giving you a little bit more volume in the bottom half of your style. So overall, Catalina is gonna look a little bit more voluminous, like it has a little bit more hair, even though overall the density is fairly similar. We have low to medium density, I would say, for Catalina, but the permatease will give you a little bit more noticeable volume. All right, let me give you a little bit of a spin. So I'm wearing this in the color Brown Sugar Cookie Rooted. This is going to be a light golden brown base with some cooler blonde highlighting and a medium brown root here. This is a really great color for that blonde color. So that brown blonde where you're not really sure which direction it's going. Is it brown? Is it blonde?
I don't know.
But this color is very comparable to Belle Tress's Macadamia Latte Rooted, which is from their City collection. It's also very comparable to Brown Sugar Sweet Cream, which is from their Cafe collection. It's also very comparable to Belle Tress's Brown Sugar Blonde Rooted, which is from their Icons collection. And this is a color that is comparable to Raquel Welch's Shaded Cappuccino. And also you'll find that Shaded Cappuccino color in Gabor as well. So if you like Brown Sugar Cookie Rooted from Belle Tress's Luxe SE collection, then you will like all of those other colors I mentioned too. Now I will let you know that all of the Luxe SE caps, including Catalina, do fit a little bit bigger than average. So on my petite head, these ear tabs do sit like right in my ear crease. So it's not an ideal fit for me ear to ear. Now within the circumference, it's also a little bit big straight out of the box without adjusting the Velcro adjusters at all. If I were to bring those adjusters in though, it would fit me in my circumference just fine. But then throughout the rest of the cap, there is quite a bit of extra bulkiness, extra cap there on my petite head. So if you are a petite like me, you could wear this if you wanted to. I personally would still wear this just because I tend to wear anything really if I enjoy the style. But just note that if you have an 11.5-inch ear to ear like me or less, it's gonna be probably bothering you in your ear crease, and you're gonna have that extra bulk, and you're gonna have to bring in the adjusters. So you're gonna have to do a lot to make it work for you. But if you are average or a bit bigger than average, or even if you are 23-inch circumference, which is more of a large, this should fit you okay because there's also quite a bit of stretch in the circumference here too. All right, you guys, I'm gonna give you one last look at Catalina here. And I'm gonna put on Hollie one more time so you can see more of a quick change here, a quick difference. So let's take a look at these bangs. Oh, gotta get that out of the way. These bangs on Catalina, the curl pattern, like I said, is a little bit more evident. And then here's the length. I think Catalina might be like 1/2 inch shorter. But anyways, okay, there's Catalina. And then here is Hollie. And Hollie's gonna be a little bit more of a toned down version, a touch longer, I think. And then these bangs are longer, of course. So if I were to bring these bangs forward, I can't see anything. So you would have to cut those. Anyways, here is now Hollie. So if you are loving both of these styles, but you are more of a petite or a petite average size, Hollie might be your best option, especially because now, like I mentioned, Hollie does come in an actual petite size. But I think that's all I have to share with you guys about these two styles. Hopefully this was helpful for you as you carry on with your wig journey. I know it can be tricky. I know there's a lot of information out there, but hopefully I can do what I can to make sure I get as much info out to you guys as I can. So with that, I'm gonna let you guys skedaddle and enjoy your day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye everybody.